Boom, it's live. Now make a comment so I can add you as a moderator. We already got Brandon Johnson. What's cracking?
Where's it show up? I'm at your home screen. Maybe I just gotta go to my YouTube home.
Yeah, somewhere you got to click on there. You on?
I'm on. Well, I'm not on. It's not showing me the live. The hell?
What's cracking? We're just trying to make him a moderator so when we're on seeing the chat and stuff, he could read from his phone. Because I'm using my phone to film. You can't enter?
There, now it is.
Okay, now you're in. So now, say something so I can and turn your volume off.
All right, say something.
Because I think I can make you a moderator.
Something. What's up, Brandon Johnson and Zeppo?
Add moderator. Boom, now you're a moderator. All right, now I can come hang. I'm over here looking insane. It's a beautiful day. Let's see how we look on here. Let's see what I can see. Well, I can see myself. What do you know?
Not bad.
I need like an iPad or some kind of screen. I got my computer, but
the monitor.
Something. All that matters is that we have coffee.
Yeah. Was it still? Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Easter.
It is Easter. Happy Easter.
Happy Resurrection Day.
We like to hang out and talk about stuff because we actually met in church. This is Richard, if you didn't know. He went live with Jesse the other day on his Instagram Live. But we're always talking about stuff, overcoming stuff in life, and then we're like, dude, we should just
go live.
People like real stuff, you know. And then I was like, I got the keyboard. Oh man, what happened? Now I gotta figure that out because I need to have the keyboard. Hold on, it's cool. It's the first time.
Well, test
Can't
run.
do anything perfect in life.
Zeppo, Happy Easter. Brandon Johnson says Happy Easter. I'm gonna text the group real quick.
You might need to hit those keys for me if you can. Oh, that's why the volume's down. We'll play?
Playing.
Here. Why is it not playing? It should be playing. Preferences. Audio. Come on now. Okay. It's weird because it's showing up on here as playing, but I'm not getting any sound. Play it? Keep playing? Super weird, dude.
Maybe like
it's showing as audio on here, but it's not coming out of the speakers.
Does it get overridden by YouTube?
No, it's totally different. YouTube's from my phone.
Like, maybe because we're recording, you think that's messing with it?
No, has nothing to do with it. Something weird. Never experienced this. It's always going to be something.
At least I'm doing a test run. That's what these things are for.
Still not working? What the heck? If I play a video, does it work? Let me see. No. Ain't nothing working. Oh, the sound card was pulled out.
Fun. Let's shoot some more.
I knew there was something weird. So I'm like, damn, dude, I've never in my life experienced that.
It's Zeppo's birthday today.
Shit.
Well, Zeppo, this song is for you. Happy birthday, man.
Zeppo. It's kind of like a lighter,
You're like Zippo,
but it's not.
but it's not. Piano's still not playing.
I know. It's initializing audio because it was unplugged. And now it's got a... This is all payback.
SS says happy birthday to also. To
This
Zeppo.
is all payback.
We're being shadow banned.
We're being, what do we
Shallow
say?
band.
Shallow band.
Shallow banned. There we go.
Wow.
Now it's low. There we go.
What do you know?
Amazing.
What do you know? It's low.
How old are you, Zeppo?
But now I'm not getting any sound from the other sounds. You know what? Oh well.
Sound from the other side?
Because I got like 3 sounds that I had was a piano, electric piano, and then this flute sound. Here, you keep it distracted. Because
Okay.
you know what? It's gotta be right, man.
And you don't have access to these keys up here.
Exactly. That's because that sound only has.
Trevor,
Certain-
I just heard for the first time you made the Made by Jim Bob song you made with Anomaly, and it was great.
Oh,
Good job,
sweet.
man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man, it's a really good song. Jim Bob doesn't play it enough. Zeppo is 18. You're legal.
Play
Now
the piano?
Get
Play-
out of your
play
mom's
it.
house and go get a job.
Yeah, keep playing. I'm trying to get. Alright. Why is it so lame? Can you play it lower in the center? Keep playing? Alright. Now. Man, what a hack. Now I need this little electric piano.
Yeah, it's time to move out of your mom's house, Zeppo.
Play it again. There we go. Sweet. I got electric piano, regular piano, and a little flute on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
She said.
Smash the like button. Yeah, smash the like button.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Beat it to hell. Not the best time with the current situation. Yeah, not the best time to move out, but you still gotta move out.
Yeah.
He's 18.
You know what's crazy is like you're always gonna find a thing in your mind to think that you could play God and pick the best time. And I say that from my own experience because I still try to overcome that. I fool myself into thinking it's the logical thing to do. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, it's not the right time, but it's always the right time, man.
Always.
Like even for songwriting or something, I'm like, man, you know, I'm not really feeling the inspiration to do this. I'll wait for the right time, and then nothing happens. But as soon as I sit down, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start working my hands and doing something. One thing leads to another, and before I know it, I look up. All of a sudden, inspiration came because I took action.
It's like being OCD. Like people who think you gotta turn the knob 30 times to the left or light candles or whatever. It's outward rituals. Like you just gotta do it. Big Bump is in the chat.
Big bump.
What's up, Big Bump?
What's that on your face?
Is that a big bump on your face?
Shit.
Smitty, he's a moderator. Smitty says Happy Easter. Yeah, Big Bump is on the track that Trevor Wesley did for Stand Up for Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a hell of a
The sound
hell of a
still
rap.
sucks. That got muffled. I swear I wasn't doing this before.
He's gonna fix the piano.
Every
again.
time you want to do something, you can hit these complications that you never had before. Yeah, play lower. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep it playing. Alright, that's cool. This is as good as I'm gonna get it, man. Insanity. I had it perfect before. Big Bump came in the chat
Big
and ruined
Bump.
everything. No, I'm kidding. Does it
Yeah.
work?
Sound better?
But why does that sound muffled? Like the piano is not even bright. Like it's like, what the heck, man?
That sounds
I have
better.
to use it. It's still muffled. That's what it sounds like. Big Bump. Big Bump.
Jesse
Is
Lee.
that on your head? Oh, that? That's a big bump. Ashley
Black Victoria. What's up, Ashley? And Lori.
I got confused. I'm like, Ashley,
Oh yeah, Victoria. Blacktoria.
we gotta have
Blacktoria.
you come over one day, Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria, you gotta be. You're on the show. You don't even know it yet, but you're already part of the show. You gotta get over here. You're gonna be our Robin.
On Howard Stern, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Howard had Robin. We're gonna have Black Victoria.
So yeah, we're
And
here.
Adriana's in the chat.
I was super distracted by all the complications that I almost forgot who I was.
Had some technical difficulties, but anyway, so it's Sunday.
Well, we didn't have any preparation. We're just like, you know what? Let's just go on here. You know, we could have had something planned out, some topics or whatever we're gonna talk about, but I guess take on what's in front of you, huh? What was in front of me was complications, but I've overcome those.
If anyone's got topics, I got a few we were thinking about.
What's that?
Let me see. What did we talk about the other
Well,
day?
I remember one thing we were talking about was how we're all programmed and we don't know it
Right.
because we're born and then we observe, our parents. We observe the world and it's all imposed onto us. And we watch TV and movies and stuff like that. And it hit me. I was like, dang, that's crazy, man. Because sometimes I feel like I've lived life before. I'm like, man, I've already done this before, kind of feeling. And that I wish that I had more drive to do things, And then it hit me that like when we watch movies, TV, and all these things, we're like watching and observing the experiences of other people, and almost like downloading them within ourselves, like we've experienced them ourselves.
It's like the Matrix. You're like virtually living out like romance and action and adventure, but
Yeah.
you're just sitting on your couch the
Yeah,
whole time.
you're sitting there taking it all in, and in your subconscious, you kind of can almost feel like, oh, I know what that's like. Oh, I've done that before, just because you've watched every possibility that they gave you from TV and stuff.
Feels like you're living.
And if we didn't have TV, if we didn't have movies, we didn't have all that stuff, what would life be like? Would we we'd only have our own experiences to base off of things, and we'd be driven because we'd wonder what things were like. We'd be like, dang, what's it like to be in love, or what's it like to, sing on stage or
Climb a
perform?
mountain.
Whatever, yeah, exactly. And until you do it or see it for yourself, I don't know.
Yeah, there was another topic we were talking about. The extended quarantine. That sounds nuts. May 15th is what Garcetti said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling they're just going to keep extending it like, little by little. Be like, oh, 15 more days.
Yeah,
15 more days.
Where were we at? We were at the market or something, and someone said that their friend was a city employee,
City employee.
and that they heard that they're going to just slow play us and just keep extending it and extending it.
Yeah, because you know what's really happening.
It's a Twilight Zone. Propaganda. Paramedic says the propaganda hit me hard.
Yeah, it's. I'll take a gander, and it's not proper.
And Adriana says the forced mask situation. Not happy about that. We are fighting this invisible threat, but is it really real? It's really real, y'all. Yeah, it's not really real. I don't think so.
What do you mean? Is it really real?
Like,
the virus?
Is it real enough that we should be wearing masks all the time?
Yeah. See, I think the virus is real, but I think it's overblown, and I think they're taking advantage of it. They, meaning like the media,
Yeah.
and
Bill Gates.
yeah, so many weird things going on. There's
Because when
not-
is he an authority on our lives? Like, when do we have to listen to Bill Gates about anything?
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't create Windows computers to not have viruses, and now he wants to correct viruses in real life.
Yeah. It's crazy. Adriana says, I think our rights are being taken away. I mean, they already are. We can't
They
assemble.
are. There's laws being made, mandates.
We
or
can't
whatever.
practice our religion.
We never agreed or voted upon those things. Now they want us to vote from home.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Weird times.
David says, what up, David?
That's
Sariñana.
Oh, sorry, Nyana. What do you know?
He was social distance. Mexican, that's why, so we can make fun of him.
Yeah. We went to where was it? El Paso together. Took a road trip up there a little while back.
Speaking of El Paso, I thought David really hyped it up. Like, he made it seem like it was like the Disneyland of Texas.
He's from there, so
Yeah.
he's been programmed to believe.
But then I heard, little bird on the street told me, El Paso looks nuts.
It looks it's like a small little town. It's like a ghost town, like you can see a tumbleweed. And this is before the virus and everything, so I can't imagine what El Paso's like now. But I don't know, it just felt like there'd be like some dirty strip club on the corner somewhere, but there wasn't a strip club.
Just dirty corners.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Y'all, paramedic says, y'all won't touch the Zionist bit with a 10-foot pole, huh? It's love to point it out. Well, expound on that. What do you mean?
Expound.
Yeah, what do you mean by the
Yeah, I
Zionist
don't
bit?
understand what that means. What does it mean, Basil?
Yeah, what do you mean? Paramedic. David, we miss you, man, says Blacktoria.
Blacktoria. Blacktorius.
But yeah, it's interesting. Oh yeah, we should have a call number.
I know, that's what I was saying. It'd be cool if people could call somehow. I mean, I don't know if there's apps or something to be able to have, like create a free
You know what? I
line
think
where
there
you
is a
can
way to
use
get a free
number or
Google will reroute it or
or
something.
even if it was like a Skype or some kind of thing.
If anyone has ideas about that or knows, put in a chat.
Yeah, because we want this to be a good opportunity for all of us to get together and.
But for
Hang
those who
out.
have our numbers, like the Bond crew, call.
No, you can't call because the phone is
Oh,
recorded.
don't call Trevor's
Yeah.
phone. Call my phone.
But then you won't be able to see the chat.
True. Well, we can just keep it short, and then we jump back in.
But I have my computer, and you could do a Skype thing from there. But I don't know. That seems too hard to do right now. We're live.
We got to work on this.
The show must go on.
Zeppo says we can try Discord. But what do you mean? Like,
What does that mean?
everything streamed through Discord? Because we want to keep it on YouTube. Just Incredible says, I work for Medicaid transportation and speak with a lot of facility staff. It's definitely real, but also blown way out of proportion. I'll agree with that.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think the virus is fake or anything. I just think it's blown. I think they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's not like the end of the world, like 28 days later. Paramedic says, I love y'all, by the way. I love you too.
We love the paramedics.
And then, okay, play a little James Brown, says Lorianne. Can't you Bluetooth to a speaker?
I don't know if I know any James Brown.
Ha!
Yeah, I can't pop anything that's popping in my head. All I know is this is a man's world.
Or, Gold Digger.
What is that?
He's a gold digger. Way over town.
That's Ray Charles.
Oh, yeah, wrong
Which was
black guy.
remixed by
They black.
remixed by Kanye.
She has an old upright piano. Oh, here's a question from Adriana. What do you play when you see a white girl?
What do I play when I see a
I think I
She
know what
knows
you're talking
that.
about.
Yeah, Adriana obviously came to that little gig I used to do. I used to play at the Grove. This was an outdoor mall, and they had a piano outside, and there was like all these passerbys that would pass by, and every time I saw 15, 16 to 25-year-old girls walking by, I'd be whatever I was playing, I'd be playing something else. I'd be like playing, right, and then I see them all. And you watch them pass by, and they'd always start laughing. Or if you see a couple, particularly interracial couple, because it's more embarrassing, I feel like, for them when they're walking and you just play.
Yeah, that one they like.
They're all, oh!
Or you see an old couple. What do you play?
If you see an old couple, you play. It's a funeral march, you know what I'm saying? It's almost that time.
Let's see. So paramedic taught me something. We can switch the chat from top chat to live chat. Live chat lets you see all the comments. Top chat doesn't.
Yeah, we want the live chat, man.
So I just switched it. So thank you,
Who
paramedic.
decides what's top chat and what's not chat? I did sign up for super chats, and under no obligation do you have to.
Yeah,
send
you don't
me
have to.
But
But I mean, it'd be
But
a lot cooler if you
helped
did.
me. People helped me figure that out. And so I don't know, a couple streams ago, I haven't been on streaming on YouTube in a while.
Yeah, Janae, she cashed out this guy $20.
That was someone else actually.
It wasn't Janae?
No, that was also on Instagram.
Interesting.
But someone else did. They requested a song. I sang it for them, and then my Cash App, I got $20 out of nowhere. What do you know?
Here's another topic. Lately, we've been collecting knives, especially this guy.
Yeah, I've been buying knives.
So, anyone got knives out there? I know Black Tori got herself a knife. Anyone else? You got knives?
Here, I'll show you what I got. I got this knife right here. Probably can't zoom in, but it's called a Ganzo knife, right? Little flipper, little flip action right there. Freshly sharpened. Because I got this little sharpener I can sharpen the knives. And it started with these whetstones. I got these stones where you can, you
get them
slide
wet.
them on, you get them wet, and then you
Ladies.
can sharpen them. But I was too impatient. I was like, man, I'm like not sharpening these knives. It's going to take a lot of practice. It's like a science, you know. And so I ended up getting this thing called a Work Sharp, which is like this little machine. You push the button and you slide the knife through, and it has like a little sander belt on it. It's pretty cool. But I still have the whetstones, and I want to learn the. But in the meantime, I don't want to have dull knives because of my lack of skills. And look, I got this one, right? This is supposedly like a classic cheapo knife that is durable. Like I watched this video, it sold me on it.
$17.
Yeah, $17, $18. It's called a Mora Kniv. And it's made in Sweden, right? Comes with this little pouch. This could be, like, what sold me on it was that there was like it's called a torture test, where they took the knife and they like, you know,
They
just
beat
beat
it
it up. Yeah, like they took bricks, put it on a brick, and then like, you know, batoned it to break the bricks and stuff. And it was like indestructible. They stabbed it into a tree,
Stepped
and
on it.
and they stepped on it, held their body weight, and it never broke. And all the knives that I've been getting have been, what are they called? They're flippers.
Flip knives.
They
Like,
flip.
like this is assisted opening, so it has a little spring in there, so it pushes out
It
faster.
folds in, yeah.
It's pretty intimidating, just that sound.
Yeah, that's the, you know, when the gang comes along and they're like, hey man, give me your money. You go, what you say?
Yeah. You see a nice little old lady walking down the street with the last roll of toilet paper, you're like, hey lady, happy Easter.
Exactly.
Here's a question, comment too. Kershaw knives are cool. Yes, I had the Kershaw Onion, Ken Onion edition, the Blur. Paramedic wants to know, what is y'all favorite Jesse moment?
Mine one has to be the crackhead one, I think, because, you know, when you see things for the first time, that was one of the first clips I found. That's what I made actually a remix of that, so check it out. It's called That's a Crackhead.
That's the crackhead.
That's a crackhead. Not that's a crackhead, but that's a crackhead.
Yeah, THASSA.
Yes. That's a crackhead.
That's a crackhead.
And he was talking about, was it Marion Barry?
Yeah, that DC mayor who was caught smoking crack.
He was
Multiple
a
times.
crackhead.
Yeah.
But then they elected him as something.
And I think they put a statue up, or he was
Yeah.
just talking like, what
That's
if
what it was about.
Yeah.
You know it if you've seen
Marion
Jesse.
Barry.
But I'd say that was my.
The man was a convicted crackhead. Exactly,
He was like-
Justin. What up, Katie Reed?
Was a convicted crackhead.
Is he dead? Lorianne says he did. I hope he's not dead. I mean, we've got back to crackhead.
Speaking of dying, I've heard. I'm not, no expert, as they say. But what have they been saying that all these people that are dying,
Oh,
they're just slapping on coronavirus, COVID-19 on
if
them.
you have it, you could die of a heart attack, emphysema, cancer, whatever, broken heart. But if they can test you positive for COVID, then they're gonna file you under that was your cause of death.
But they're not even. But even further than that, they're taking symptoms, and if it sounds like COVID-19, they're just diagnosing you with it. So you don't even have to have, because people get the flu, people get a cold, people get sick, and these symptoms are so common that they're just slapping it saying, oh, that's COVID-19, boosting the numbers.
And even the numbers for heart attack deaths and all the other things have been dropping off a cliff because guess what? They're not having less people die from those things. They're just refiling it.
Yeah.
They do that with shootings too. If you want to make a city look better, they'll file the shootings under something else so you don't have as many shootings.
Speaking of shootings,
Oh, Big Bump says, I thought you would have said your drag queen appearance. That was hilarious.
which one?
That was your memorable Jesse moment when Jesse was saying,
That wasn't my moment.
Yeah.
Or not.
That was pretty funny though. Jesse he went in on him
Yeah, it was funny. He saw it as a woman.
all day.
What did he say? He said that because he said on the air, he went in on me and he said that I came dressed just like a woman. I had a little wig, right?
Yeah, it was just a mullet.
Just a mullet.
That's
Joe
it.
Dirt mullet. But then
No dress.
a week goes by and he's like, I've been thinking about it all week. And after, what is it? Wear a wig for an hour, but you still thought about what is it? What did I say? Oh yeah, you still thought about a drag queen for a week.
Yeah.
And he laughed. But it was cool.
Jesse's amazing. If you guys are in LA and you've never been, you should go check it out. It's nothing like you would expect. There's no preaching. He's not talking down to you. It's just
It's
hanging out.
fellowship.
Yeah, literally hanging out, talking. There's people who disagree with him and still show up every Sunday. You know, you don't have to agree. Just don't be mad at someone for having a different opinion. And that's like I think what the best thing is there.
That's what when I first started watching Jesse, I started learning pretty quickly that Jesse kind of baits people to be angry, right? He trolls a lot.
He pulls it out of you. If you got it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where I learned a lot, and people do that with Trump a lot. They blame Trump for their own anger and their own hate, and you can never blame anybody else. Like if you didn't have hate or anger inside of you to be brought out, it would never be brought out.
Yeah, or they twist your words. You could say, like Trump said, a good number of people crossing the border illegally could be felons and drug dealers, and they are. There's a good number who are.
Yeah.
But then they'll say, "You said all Mexicans are drug dealers and rapists."
Yeah.
And he didn't say that, But when you're angry, you hear what you want to hear.
It's a trip that it's so everything is manipulated and turned into some other narrative, and people don't really listen to what you're actually saying, your own words. They kind of fill in the blanks and assume and interpret what you say, and like it's frowned upon or looked down upon to want to put your country first that you're from, like anywhere. If everybody put the country they were born in or whatever citizenship they had first, then all countries I think would start to grow and be better instead of want to just move to America because it's and if you want to move to America, that's fine. Do it legally, and do it the right way.
Yeah.
I'm all for that because I want everybody, no matter what race you are, what ethnicity you are, whatever, to identify as Americans so that we could be united. But it seems like everything is more so dividing us, and
Like you get a free pass from people based on skin color or whatever social group, but it shouldn't be. It should be based on your character, your spirit.
yeah,
That's who I'm cool with.
As an American, But if I was say Japanese, right? If you loved your country, Japan, and you're Japanese and you were born there, and you wanted it to be better instead of moving away, right, or Mexico or wherever it is, and I don't like the laws of my country because we gotta overcome it, man. And I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but if citizens in their own countries realize that the power they had as a people to unite and come together, then they can put their government in check a lot easier, I think, than submitting and bowing down to it. And that's why I got respect for Chinese citizens because they're protesting. And that's another weird thing is that when the Chinese were protesting, everybody's like, Donald Trump, don't touch China. China's asshole.
China asshole.
That's right before the virus happened. And so
And now it's done.
a lot of people are saying that the virus was an intentional thing to punish the protesters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've learned not to conclude into believing anything.
Yeah, just watch the water and see what happens.
But it's still entertaining and interesting to hear all these different perspectives. And a lot of people, they're not open to hearing anything. They get pissed off when you ask a question and it doesn't, they're like, oh, why are you so dumb? There's no such thing as a dumb question.
Here's a good one. Comment from Bat, Guts and Glory. Every race has their homeland, but Anglos aren't allowed to have that. Yeah, I mean, they guilt you, it's
What's
weird.
an Anglos?
Like white,
Oh,
white
see,
people.
I'm not afraid to say I don't know.
Like Anglo-Saxon. But yeah, it is like, you can't say, like you can have a black history club. I remember in college they had a whole hall, a dorm, all black. But if there was a whole hall of white people, they would be like, no, that's racist. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care if we have it for all white kids, but it is.
Yeah. Well,
it's a
I
double
think that's
standard.
another tricky way to divide people because if you could say, all right, it's division. If we were all recognized ourselves as Americans, we wouldn't need to divide and partition up certain things and then make, because it's an endless thing. You're gonna always want to have a new thing. Well, then I want something, and if we just like trim the fat, that's why my favorite number is 0, because as soon as you start counting, then you don't have enough, right? If you're 0, you're infinite, and if once you have 1, it's like you're first, you're lonely, and you can keep counting forever. But 0 is like where the present moment is. Now is always 0.
Like his analogy of a stopwatch, I think that was the best thing.
Well, I just noticed when I record on my computer, right? When you're playing music and you start counting the first beat, that's 1, right? But when you hit record, it starts on 0. It's not on the 1, and that made me because the present moment is 0.
Right. 1 is actually the marker of a second that just passed.
Exactly.
It's a marker of the past. 0 is now.
And the only
now.
reason why you use numbers and count is as a reference of looking in the past. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like the number 0. And another thing is that 10 technically is a placeholder for 0. 11 is 1. 12 is 2. 20. But you don't acknowledge 0 first. But you acknowledge 10 and 20 and 30 and whatever. 100. But I think the way to look at it too is that 0-1 is something itself, But if you never had, before you had that 0-1, you would have nothing. And I think that we just can't fathom what nothing is.
That's guts and glory. Morally divide. That's the only beneficial division. Okay, I divide by morals. Yeah, I mean that's what it should be. Like I'm not cool with all. I can't say that. I mean I love all white people.
Yeah,
I love all black people.
I don't claim any particular group as my own.
But I'm not going to vouch for all white guys and give them all a free pass. But I don't know what he's doing. He could be a dirtbag.
I don't have.
I'm not going to hate him.
If two people are fighting, and I'm not the type to be like, oh, I'm rooting for that guy because of what he looks like,
Yeah, I want to find out who's doing the right thing. That's
right,
that's
exactly.
what I'm cool with.
What's right is what matters. But I noticed that I didn't grow up. I know what Jesse talks about with the family stuff. It's so true. I'm a white guy. He white. When I found Jesse, what I resonated with was the family stuff, and he talks a lot about the black community a lot, and a lot of people call him offended, like he's knocking the black community or whatever. But I resonated with everything that he talked about that was in the black community, and like I had both my parents in the home, but there was a lot of dysfunction, and my mom was like imposed her emotions, and she kind of like trained me to be to offer suggestions of what I should do in my life when I never asked the question first, and I didn't have room, and so everything that Jesse talks about, I resonated with. So I know it's like they're universal principles and laws in spirit, So I know that it has nothing to do with skin color, race, or anything like that. He's just pointing out, he always says not all but most.
Yeah. There's not all, but he's just, I mean, that's where he started. He's black. He grew up in the black community. He saw it firsthand how he went from having values and structure to falling for that, hate white people stuff, and it got him nowhere.
And I think it's because of the way people are raised and brought up. If you're, come into the world and first you have a single mother or something, you don't have an example of what a father is, because the mom, she could do her very best in trying to show you what a man is, but she's not a man, so she's not the example for him to see. And I had my dad, but he worked all the time, right? And when he came home, he didn't have the strength, I guess, to put his foot down and lead the home. And so it was always like, it was in the middle. The children were in the middle, me and my sister, and we, it was just dysfunctional. And so I can only imagine if I just had no dad at all, how much more emotional you could be, because men and women are different. We're all equal in the sense of being treated equal,
right?
With respect,
made from the same
love.
Material,
yeah,
but different abilities.
But everyone, with a common sense knows that women are just naturally more emotional. It's in their nature, and men are naturally more logical. Like if you go back and whatever, the Stone Age or whatever, it's like men would provide or built physically to go hunt and provide, and then mothers and women, they're nurturers. It's gonna, they birth a child, and it's just obvious.
And they make sandwiches.
This guy.
Thomas asked, am I some kind of Latino or something? I'm mixed. My mom is born in El Salvador. her father was from Spanish blood. My dad's side is German, Irish, and Norwegian.
But he's a mutt.
So I'm a mix. But we talked about the other day about how he asked a friend what they thought about mixing, like interracial dating and that experience. And I told him, as someone who is mixed, that the negative growing up was that I was very, very made very aware that I was neither fully Hispanic or Latino, whatever, or fully white. The jerk whites would tell me I'm not white enough, and the jerk Hispanics would tell me I'm not Hispanic enough. And you always feel like not part of anything, so like you're an outcast. So like it is tough. Like it's not that I don't care who you date, but I know that it is a smoother transition if you keep it within your kind. Like it's just
it's just interesting. And one of the things we're talking about is how we wanted to do this because we want to encourage people to be able to have conversations about anything, right? And it's okay to have those conversations about really anything. And the key is to not have the anger, What?
Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, technically it's jungle Mexican.
Jungle.
Yeah. Not a desert Mexican.
The key is the anger and the hatred, Like, I'm a fan of not giving words power. And when I talk to people or, have conversations, I don't come from the place of I'm trying to, convince you anything or I'm going to be right and you're wrong. But I like it when people come together and they have the humility to want to discover a conversation together where, they both might be wrong, they both might be right, or who knows. And it's no big deal, but I notice that people, they get in their egos so much that they can't even have a conversation because they're offended. Like, how dare you is the thing, It's like, how dare you say that? How dare you ask that?
Yeah, everything's off topic. Like, you should be able to talk about anything and not get in your feelings about it. Like, you want to talk about World War II and maybe it's not quite what they told us. I got some ideas, but not a big deal.
Yeah, it's okay to think for yourself, and it's not, it shouldn't, because some people, of course, they have the intention to hurt other people, and I think that's why Jesse says that racism doesn't exist, because it's like, to the root of it, you got good and evil, right and wrong, love or hate, and then, like, from those trees, like, the umbrella of that comes things like racism, when people who are so-called racist, like, deep down, they just want to hurt somebody, like if you're overweight and two people are fighting, the first thing they notice about them is they're overweight, so they're going to call them fat. Yeah. And they know that that's what's going to hurt them. Does that make them a fat cyst? And the same thing with skin color people that talk about skin color. Like, if they're going to say something that's racist, it's because they know that they have power over that person to play off their insecurities. And I really believe, from my own experience, that the more we can unravel what our insecurities are and within ourselves, that spiritually, the more we won't let our environment determine how we feel. And that's what I really resonated with Jesse about, is that not letting your environment, being a thermostat instead of being a thermometer, Instead of walking into a room and feeling some kind of way based off of the way people say or do or what's happening, because you lose yourself in that, and I don't want to lose myself, whether it's losing myself in music, losing myself in conversation, to where these emotions come out. But being able to have that perspective, where you're objective and you're separated, to where you never lose yourself, because I think those little moments you keep losing yourself, you end up losing yourself.
Bat says that's God has made the races different for a reason. Yeah, agreed. Kevin, race mixing makes for a bad childhood even under the best circumstances, like Kaepernick. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not the only one. I got plenty of mixed friends, and Thomas said it best. He says, "Man, same for me. I never fitted 100% in races. I'm half Christian Egyptian and half French Canadian. God created me that way, but Egyptians think I'm white, and whites think I'm Egyptian."
It's human nature to want to, group and categorize, and that's what made me have this conversation with my friend. Was I wasn't asking whether it's right or wrong, but that it's interesting, and that, like, I wonder, I like to wonder, why are there different races? And some people might say it's because of where you're born, like if you're born in the desert and generations of your family are there, it's hot, the sun's out, so in adaptation, you're going to adapt to the sun, and you're going to get darker skin. And over hundreds of years, or thousands of years, or however long, like, you know, if you're in the snow, like I'm so white, obviously my heritage didn't have much sun, so they didn't need to adapt to protect me. So I was a bit sunburned. But I think, you know, with that comes culture on top of that. You know, where people identify, they're like, oh, you're like me and I'm like you, and then they start doing things similar, and then I think that's how, like, you know, culture and stuff happens. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's just what makes sense to me.
I look at it like birds. We're talking about it. Like you got blue jays and robins and cardinals, but they're all unique, and you don't see cardinals, you know, hooking up with blue jays and blue jays with cardinals, and it doesn't make it wrong or right. It's just it is what it is.
It's interesting that,
they're all birds.
In nature, like that's the way it is. They're all birds, but they are different species of bird, and human beings have that same thing, you know. And it's like, just thinking, you know, because it's like I've talked to different people who are mixed, and I'm not afraid to ask questions about it, you know, and say, did you feel like you didn't know where you belonged growing up? And most of them will say yes, you know.
Paramedic asks, Trevor, does that adaptation stop at the brain? I think he's asking, do you think some tribes of people will have a higher IQ or different strengths? I told him I think there's something unique about certain tribes for sure. You look at some of the societies that came out of certain areas, they organized things differently. How they structure their societies is unique to them. You know, like societies in, you know, ancient Africa don't look like societies in ancient Europe. It's just different.
Yeah, I think that it's really like a frequency. You know, like a radio station. You turn on the radio and you go to different channels. I think that each culture and each, like, you know, people that group themselves with the group. That's like you're thinking in a group. So your mindset and frequency you're on is going to be with that. So I think that there's something to that, and I don't think it's a DNA thing. I don't think that you're just doomed. You know, I think that you can overcome anything, and that's why, like, I'm a fan of being an individual. You know, like if you get tap into God and be that zero, then you're not. I think we have the power to change our own DNA, in the sense of expanding our minds by letting go of our intellect and not being so wrapped up in it, because people, you know, they get in their egos and in their pride and stuff, especially when they attach to a group. And I'm Irish, but I don't have any kind of pride about it, and I don't only hang out with Irish people, but if I did, I might have, you know, the frequency of the guy who hangs out with only Irish people, because that's what Irish people do and that's how they think, you know, like, oh, we drink, that's what we do, right? So I'm turning my sky into a ceiling by associating myself to only being able to be a certain way. So I don't think that it means that our brains adapt because we are a certain race. I think it's because of how we categorize it in our brain and how we decide, you know. It's like what the reality that we accept as reality. You know, we think that we're in, I don't know how to explain. It's hard to explain. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, I stopped following about a minute ago. I forgot what you were talking about. What do you play when you see an Asian girl?
Oh! Thank you for coming to my channel.
Ryer, pants on fire. Men are the image of God. We create, but a woman grounding us gives us the ability to create. I don't know.
What was that?
So Bat said, men are in the image of God. I agree. We create, but a woman grounding us gives us the ability to create.
I don't know. I can't say I agree, because
Yeah.
God gives us the beauty. We don't have the ability to create. We only have the ability to co-create. And if you notice, we don't really invent anything.
No, we just discover.
We discover.
It's revealed. And you're like, wow, what is that? That's a new chord.
Yeah, like God made everything possible and created all things. So just because we pair things together and put it together and we're like, whoa, look what I did. It's like, no, you just had the awareness and observation to see that those 2 and 2 equal 4, you know? But I don't think that once we start taking the credit,
Yeah,
then
start playing God.
our ego, you know, it's like all of a sudden my identity starts to be formed and built off of what I credit myself with. And and I think we give all glory to God. That way we can stay zero.
I think a woman is a compliment to a man, but you don't need her to ground you.
Yeah.
If God's order, if you believe in it, Just God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, woman over children.
Yeah, and I think that a woman, anybody as an individual can seek within and overcome anything themselves, whether you're a man or woman. But there's an order when it comes to family and marriage, right? Like once you decide, all right, we're going to come together and cooperate together, then there's that order. But until there's that, and until you are with somebody, I think that you can overcome and do things on your own. But I think that if a man loves what's right and loves God, he's because he's more logical, he's going to be able to help her overcome her emotions and bring her closer to God in a different way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful compliment. Like he just clarified, he said, I'm talking about men with families. Like, yeah, but I just don't think, because the grounding is God. He's like your ground. He's what keeps you level. He's what keeps you from floating off into your thoughts and not having a foundation. But she is how you channel that. You channel that through her, and there's a nice compliment that happens when that connection happens.
We talk about this before. It's funny. I could have a messy room, right? And I don't care. I don't want to clean it up. But as soon as I know a girl's coming over,
get the vacuum.
All of a sudden,
get the wipes.
I'm driven to clean up. It's funny how that works. And so I do think there's an inspiration there with women and men, and that there's something about them that make the world go around. Like it drives. I can only speak for myself, but there's something about women that make me feel like I want to provide for, or be someone. I don't know. I get inspired more, and I think with music or whatever, it's like I wouldn't write if there were no women. I wouldn't be writing love songs.
If there were no women, we'd have no sandwiches. There's let's see. Oh yeah, Thomas sent $5 in super chat. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. You're the man.
And then Kevin Duggan says, mixed race help breeds a more paranoid individual, more dependent on outside influences for morality. That's a lot of words, but it definitely makes life difficult being mixed. That's for sure.
I wouldn't know. I'm sure I'm mixed. I've never had a DNA test, but I see mixed as from the outside looking in. Like you could be mixed, and but you might just look like something, so people don't question it.
Yeah, he looks like purebred white.
I look like it, but I've heard that I'm half African. No, I'm kidding. I'm Irish, Scottish. I'm all white things.
Bat says the man is a different energy in mind than a woman. We can't have children and create families without the different energy. But women don't create children either. Just like she can't create herself. She didn't create it. That's God. She's just the vessel.
Yeah.
She's just her. It's part of
It makes it's like the Trinity, right? You got the man, the woman, and you got God. And without one of those things, it wouldn't be possible.
Oh, Adriana wants to know about the biblical question. So Jesse always has a biblical question for the week, and this week it's what does it take for a woman or women to enter heaven?
What does it take for a woman or women to enter heaven? My first gut instinct about that question is that it takes everybody the same. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. What matters is repenting of having that wanting to seek and forgiveness and being able to not hold on to resentments and just truly want it and realize when you're wrong so that you can overcome and do what's right. And I don't think it's bounded to any gender, but I think that once you do find a person and it comes naturally and not forced because you were lonely and that you just wanted to find somebody and it comes together in the right way, then that order can happen, and then you can like a woman can find it almost easier to get closer to God from a man that loves what's right, who's able to be almost like a father to her. Because it's like God's the father in heaven, and then the man is the father on earth. And if it wasn't for the whole sex thing, a lot of people I think fall in lust and they think that it's love because they're getting something out of it. They make them feel something from sex, and it creates this illusion. But
and it starts when you're young. Like it's everybody who's got that lust. Even people who wake up. You can find Jesse, people like him, and wake up, but that's a battle. Like he says, the hardest ones to overcome are going to be food and sex. And a lot of people still let sex inform their relationship. Like they feel like they got to be sexually attracted. I'll take some more. You got to be sexually attracted. or just it's all based on sex. Like I'm not gonna say who, but we got a buddy out here in LA, and she swears that she needs to bang you before she marries you. Which obviously, if I was in the fallen state, it's like, yeah, let's right on, let's do it.
I like to test drive my car.
Yeah, who doesn't like a test drive? But that's not how it works. Like, you just gotta take a chance. Maybe he's got a micro penis, maybe he doesn't. But
Well, yeah, if you love somebody and it's not based on that, you're gonna enjoy their company, and it's not gonna be just based on sex.
yeah.
Even though it's a fine line.
And the women knows what the weakness of their man. I think I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, women know how to play men, and then men.
Hey, I find that interesting because within myself, like I grew up, my dad worked right, and I had a sister and a mom. And for the longest time, I wasn't able to separate myself of what's it like to be a man, and what's it like to be a woman. But I knew what it was like to be a woman because I grew up around it, and I started to think and act like my mom and my sister would, and and then I was able to separate it and really see it so that I can know what my true nature is, and so I think it's funny that I find myself going back to it's almost like I could trick myself thinking it's like a cheat code. Like, well, I know how a woman would think, so I got to think like a woman to get a woman, and that's not the right way. I mean, it would be the right way to get sex,
Yeah.
but if I want to really find the right person that could be in my life forever and have family, I gotta have the strength to just always be a man and not be afraid to be that and find somebody who will respect it.
And you won't even actually find them. You just we found this great channel. This guy puts it a really good way. Chase excellence. Like,
Yeah.
you just keep doing what you're doing. You just do your
Exactly.
follow your path, build, take the opportunities that are revealed, and let it be added to your life. And you don't make her the focus. The second you make her the focus, it's over.
What's the quote? I've lost a lot of money chasing bitches, but I never lost a bitch chasing money.
Yeah.
Eh?
Like he says, most women don't want to run the race with you. They want to wait at the finish line and pick the winner.
That's true.
Hey, I mean.
But the whole thing, the key of it is just acknowledging, trying to search for the truth and not having a bias or hate or resentment or anything. Like, I love women, and the women I love most are the ones that are women, that embrace being a woman in their femininity, because I think yin and yang is key. You got daytime and nighttime. You got up and down, left and right. It's all binary, and you got a man and a woman. And if
Yeah.
a man can be a full man and a woman can be a full woman, they come together and they complement each other.
Yeah, it's like it's the ultimate compliment. Matt Kruger's in the chat. Matt Kruger says, and then feed you to the tigers. Exactly. Carol Baskin. What a bitch.
You did it.
What about kissing before wedlock? Yeah, that's a tricky one, man. I'll say.
I'm not setting rules. I'm kissing before wedlock.
I think it can be done. Like we talked about this a lot. It's different for men, especially if you've woken up and you can not get into your feelings about stuff. It's easy for guys to disconnect from that. It's a lot harder for women to think clearly. In my experience,
Yeah.
you push them into hell with that. A lot of them can't deal with it. The voice in their head is a lot louder than it is in men's head.
And I'm gonna clarify. I don't claim to be perfect. All right. I've done a good job at intellectualizing and knowing what's right and wrong, right? But there's things that I'm working on, and I'm not over here talking like I know everything or that I'm perfect and doing all these things the right way. But I know that this is what I want. That I know is the right way. But it's like of myself I can do nothing, and of myself I know nothing. And so I just got to take it day by day and each moment by each moment, and the things that I want to overcome kind of fall away on their own. It's not me trying to, the more I tell myself I'm not going to do something or don't do that, the more I'm driven to want to.
Yeah.
And so it makes it harder. And I can't say I'm not going to kiss a girl before I get married. I won't say what I won't do,
You just gotta wait till it's
When
there.
those moments come, it's just take those moments on.
Yeah. And
That's
if it happens, it happens. But again, you just don't get
Yeah.
pulled into your feelings. Don't get pulled in your thoughts. But again, the negative is with that question, what's the effect going to be on her?
No, exactly, because at the end of the day, men and women are different, and I could be in a sexual relationship, or I could, whatever, and it doesn't affect me. It's like I could detach from it, like that moment's there and moment's gone. You know, but
Look her in the eyes when you put the seed of man into her. That's right. Don't look away. Look at me.
but it comes back down to the guilt of knowing that I'm ultimately hurting her. You know, like if I get in a sexual relationship and I'm just hooking up, then it's not like it's like I don't feel guilty. The only reason why I do feel guilty about it is because I know that she's gonna end up getting attached, and I'm gonna lead her into that hell of emotion because it's in her nature to be more
It complicates
emotional,
things.
you know? So it really comes down to that.
Yeah, and let's see what here.
It sounded like Star Wars.
Someone said, who was it earlier? Said, look like we've been token with these lights. Yeah, it does look a little weed centric. But no token. Just that vape pen. And then, Trevor, I'm not sure if you've already gone over it, but can you explain the color scheme of your show today? Ask Reprobate Mindset.
Well, I guess I didn't really think about it too much.
about
I
it.
didn't plan a color scheme. I got these colored lights and I just picked some colors. I thought it was cool. I didn't think about it too much.
Yeah, just balance, have lights on both sides.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Just, be a little cinematic with it.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the visual arts going on.
Alright. Oh yeah, Matt Kruger, he still has to pick up that,
I got that.
maple
You know
syrup.
what's funny about that? The first time they sent me a picture of it, it was filled all the way to the top.
And then
a few weeks
surprisingly,
ago, a week ago or whatever, it was like, "Oh, you still got your honey," and there's like a little half an inch missing. I noticed.
yeah, it looks like I think they moved it to a
I
smaller
mean,
jar.
I'm not saying, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but it was revealed. I might even have two pictures to compare and contrast. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of no scrubs, Trevor should do no hose. I think he's talking about that TLC song.
How's it go?
No.
I don't know how it goes musically. Scrub is again, this is trying to holler at me. I don't need no rose. I take it back. Maybe I need just one.
Yeah, they did already do a disc to scrubs. It was pigeons. But that was definitely better. No pigeons. Do you know the Marine Corps anthem? I don't know. I don't think so. But that must mean that you're a Marine. Thank you for your service, paramedic.
But oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so bright we I've got to practice it.
You guys heard that new one Trevor made?
How's it go? Fuck out of here. 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 How's it go? Don't wanna get up in the morning. Sometimes I'm late for work, 'cause I'd rather be snoring. Some people mean the best, some people the best at being mean, but I ain't got time for that. Fuck out of here, 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 fuck out of here. second verse.
That's a banger. But that was a good example of not planning anything.
He was playing some chords, and I was like, oh, I was singing
That's
along.
it.
And I was like, that's actually kind of cool.
That's how it
Roll
all
with
happens.
And I observed that 2 and 2 went together, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. But as soon as I try to play God and try to plan and make the best song ever, it sucks.
Oh, Ambi and Woke Abia, $10 super chat.
Oh, thank you, my man.
Ambi,
Shit. I drew more lives.
can you read that?
Ambi Nwakabia.
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 I don't know. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Ooh, build a wall. La la la.
Well, yeah, how's it go?
The wall going up. Fuck out of here.
The wall going up.
30-foot wall. Amazing. 30-foot wall.
That's the
amazing.
border.
Hope all is well with everyone. Trevor, is that green tea? No. That's coffee.
Coffee.
Women drink tea. Men drink coffee.
I like tea. I'm not gonna hate on tea.
Like I said, women drink tea. Get out of my sock drawer, you evil vixen. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Watching my girls do their thing. How's it going, man? What up, big bump?
Big bump. Hit that verse, son.
Yeah, once we get it all set up, we can have Big Bump in the chat. Get Joel Friday in here. He's black. And then we're going to have our co-anchor, Black Victoria. She's going to be our Robin. I'm not going to hate on tea. We're murdering women and children and young men, sending military age males back home. Yes, yeah, you are a Marine, I guess. This guy is a walking punchline. Yeah, it never stops. God, with Trevor, you gotta have a sense of humor.
Walking punchline. I don't think we should give words power.
Yeah.
You know, some people might say you can't be attached and take anything offensive. You know, it's like when you know someone's heart, you know they mean well. That's all that really matters. And if they say something that's offensive to you, it's better to look within yourself and be like, why does that bother me?
Yeah, why does a word have so much power?
There's got to be something, something that happened to you, some reason why you are, bringing this passion out of you to feel some kind of way.
That's how you know
Right.
someone, like we talked about when he asked that mixed race question with his buddy, and with anybody we talk to, like that's the first sign. If you start getting passionate,
Yeah.
you need to pull back. You
That-
shouldn't get worked up about anything.
That's how I'm learning to become self-aware of myself, because the more I'm in tune with how I react to things, it's not what I do, it's how I react that helps me figure out who I am and what I'm not, and to just be have peace in my
You don't overreact to anything. Someone could die in your family, your house could burn down, your wife could leave you, whatever it is. It's not a big deal.
Your house could leave you and your wife could burn down.
Exactly. You could break up with your house. Not a big deal. Doesn't matter. Nothing's a big deal.
Right, and it sounds harsh, but at the end of the day, the only reason why things hurt is because you make it hurt.
And you take it personal.
You make it a big deal. It's like, God forbid any of those things do happen, but
Yeah, you can call me half beaner all day, Mexican. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't bug me.
yeah. Well, that's only because it's your privilege.
That's right. I got the white privilege of me it overrides that brown affirmative action side.
Overrides.
Sounds like a country song coming up. Real man can take a joke. Exactly, Primal Bear. I'm a Revenge of the Cis guy myself, so I've seen some great Owen content lately. Yeah, Owen Benjamin is actually how I found Jesse Lee. I was watching Owen, and then Jesse popped up on recommended. Then Jordan Peterson and all that, and then you get to Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yep. Jesse.
Owen's cool, but Owen's too passionate, in my opinion. Like, he still has a lot of emotion. And,
Oh, you're banned for life.
I know, banned for life, whatever. Material things come and go. It's nothing personal when they go. Exactly, nothing's personal. Nothing. Like that's what Jesse says, you gotta be able to...
I'm taking it personal right now.
Yeah?
What do you mean nothing's personal?
Calm down, bro.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
He's just like his mama. Trevor, please make a song about Maxine Waters' wig and nappy-headed Stacey Abrams. She is nappy-headed.
Hey, that's racist, man.
Yeah.
You can't be talking like
Your
that,
house
alright?
could leave you and
Especially
watch it
to a
burn
white
down.
man. Could offend somebody.
Owen Benjamin drinks turpentine. I don't know. Have you ever produced a country western? Well, there was that one song he helped out, Joel.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, some
But
guy.
no, there
some
was.
kid.
I'm sure I could do a country.
Bye,
'Cause
Adriana.
I understand the elements that are in it, but you know, I haven't actually made a country song, but I do understand.
Who white? Yeah, that's the Hague Report. He likes to say, who what?
White.
White.
What did you say?
Who are you?
Is it already dark outside? Is it already like?
No, they're still light.
That's insane, man.
But it's been overcast
The
today, so the weather's
days
kinda-
are just dwindling away.
Ancient engines drank pine spirits. I think you're talking about Egyptians. But, yeah. No, I wouldn't drink. Isn't turpentine what you used to get paint off?
I'll tell you right now what turpentine is.
That's another reason why you gotta get a knife. You can do this. Look. What I need to know,
Yeah.
you just ask questions with a knife.
Say it again.
You know, they go, what can I get you? I'll have a number 1, no cheese.
What I'm gonna do is when I'm out and someone's like, "Hey man, you got a light?" and I'll go, "Sure," and I'll hold it up like this and I'll go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Blow your mind.
I can say engines because I work on them all the time.
Engines.
Oh, like engines.
But if you work on engines, doesn't mean that you could still say that you were driving down the highway and blew your tranny.
Yeah, it used to be okay to say you blew your tranny.
But now,
Now
you
it's
can't do it.
pretty gross. Let's see. Who white? Her head is nappy though. Not racist, just nappy. Yeah, it's not racist.
Well, see, you start to notice like that there's assumed negative connotations to words. That nappy is negative or whatever. It's just a descriptive word. It doesn't have to be anything
Ratchet.
negative at all. Why is that nap? Why is it negative? You know.
It just means a state of being. The hair is currently nappy. So comb it. Let's see, did we miss any other questions? Adriana just said, have to drop off. It's a true pleasure, Trevor. Hear you sang. Thanks for the carry. For carry on the fellowship and from church. I missed the lunches. Peace be with you. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Happy Easter.
We're not Muslim.
Muslim.
She said, peace be with you.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no
But
Allah.
you're having an attachment to Muslim with the words with the phrase "peace be with you."
True.
See?
See? It's,
See, Satan plays on you anytime, any day.
nappy is just nappy. Exactly. And Big Bump is black, so if he says it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, we got you know.
Yeah, I'm
He
not
vouched
racist
for
because we have black friends.
Yeah.
So we can say that. I'm black. She needs to fix that nappy fro. T-Warrior 1. Nappy is bad.
One thing that I would disagree with Jesse on is saying that black people should, like, it's right or wrong to not have to, you know, like your natural hair or whatever. I'm a fan of people, you know, wanting to have enough pride to look decent and look put together and appropriate for the world, like if you're going to your job. But it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean straight hair or any. I don't know. Like I think that you could still wear your hair naturally, but have it groomed and clean.
Groomed. That's the key. Groomed.
Yeah.
You know, make it make sense.
Like
You
I
should,
don't
you
have.
should take pride in you. Not pride, but
Yeah.
you should care. But if you care about yourself, and if we're made in the image of God, then we should be walking out looking our best. Don't look a mess.
Yeah, because you could still rock your natural hair, whatever you are, but as long as you're groomed and it's like my hair looks insane right now.
Can I get a Nick Fuentes knife at the camera pose?
I don't know what that means.
Get your knife. I don't know how he poses, but I don't know. Maybe that was it.
There it goes. I had to hit reconnect.
Ah, no, you don't. No, you gotta do it like an alpha though. Don't hold the knife like a beta. What do you mean? Like underhanded? Like this? You know? Let's see. That knife would get knocked out of your hand. Well, yeah, you can't hold it like that. You gotta have a nice firm grip on it. But I don't know. I got this real nice Viking fixed blade. If I had that nappy fro, she'd be working at Popeyes. Not with affirmative action. She'd be working at the office. As long as it doesn't distract. That's great. Reprobata. Anyways, Any random questions for Trevor? We're trying to get his music done. We got some other interesting songs I've been listening to going on a regular basis. A nice name.
What?
Show up on D Live. Do this every Sunday.
I left my coffee.
That's a great idea. Every Sunday. But D Live, can we just? I wonder if you can. This can go straight to D Live or you upload it.
I'm just gonna not send it there, but I'll send it to live.
Yeah.
You know what live is?
No.
I left the D out. She'll get that later.
Oh, Thomas has a buck knife. Who who else has a buck knife?
Shit. Got the
Shit,
classic.
that's all you had to say.
Now, right here you'll notice that I have a classic buck 110 knife. All right, this is the kind of knife in which your grandfather would pass down to you. He had it his whole life, and he will make sure that he uses it and passes it down to his grandson. This will go to my grandson one day. All right. Unfortunately, I don't have a pocket knife my father gave me. All right, so I'm gonna have to start it myself. And I might not even have grandkids or kids. Who knows? I'm going to take it, play it by ear, no expectations. But this is a classic buck 110. All right, now, I'm holding it like this in a beta kind of way so that you can see the knife, all right? I'm not trying to hold it and cover it. But best believe, someone's getting shanked.
Reprobata just bought a machete at Harbor Freight for $5.
Nice.
Yeah, but Harbor Freight sucks.
Check this out.
No, they're good.
If you need to
Just
cut
for
onions,
deals.
you know what I'm saying? Cut onions. I got myself a little
Mini cleaver?
Mini cleaver, exactly. Leave it to cleaver.
Chinese machete. Exactly. It's a Corona machete. When will you visit the fallen state? I'd be interested. Exactly.
Exactly.
T Warrior, we gotta send that to the producer at jessepeterson.com.
But I want to do it when
The time's
when
right.
I'm prepared, like when I have my album and songs ready to go. That way it can be a new song, and we can have that be talk about. I don't have to shoot in the dark going on the fallen state for nothing. I can promote something, you know.
Yeah, promote
Gotta
the
have a little
album.
bit of selfishness in there.
Lorianne says, I'm country. Don't make fun, boy. Boy!
Your country?
Is it wrong? Is it out of order to sleep with my machete? Not at all.
Shit.
In fact, I think any real man would sleep with their knives.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, man. I'll lay in bed like this, just waiting,
Yeah.
hoping somebody might come
You know,
out.
because a knife is not gonna, it's not gonna nag. It's not gonna ask you where you've been. It's not gonna ask you who's that new girl at the office. A knife just loves you for you. Just happy to see you. Happy to be in your pocket, right where it belongs.
Nah.
And you can still make sandwiches with it, even though that's out of order.
I see it like a fidget spinner that could cause harm. You know what I'm saying?
Just a bit.
You can. I've been practicing. I actually. I'm such a nerd. The other night I was laying in bed, and I pulled out my stopwatch on my phone, and I was like,
Just like
how
that.
fast could I open and close? The most I got was like it was 0.34 seconds. So it was half a second almost.
That's pretty fast.
It was pretty fast. Took a few tries.
So what he's saying is that we spend a lot of time timing ourselves, just opening up, you know, trying to master that.
Yeah, when my girl says, I wish you'd open up more, I pull out my knife and I was like, how's this?
How's that for opening up?
I'm opening this up.
You know, I mean, sandwiches are not going to make themselves.
Open
That's all
a
I'm
can
saying.
of whoop ass. That's what I mean.
Knives are for beta. Guns,
And you know, as
they're
much as this
only.
guy talks about sandwiches, I never see him eat sandwiches.
Actually, I had Arby's the other day.
That ain't a sandwich.
Hey,
That's
it's a-
trash.
It's a trash sandwich. It's a sandwich. Still had 2 pieces of bread, turkey in the middle.
I've never been an Arby's fan, but I'm also never been a fan of stomach aches.
Never take a knife to a gunfight. Well, that's no problem, Matt, because we're open carrying right here. See that?
Shit.
Open carry.
Yeah, it's too bad you didn't get tickets to the gun show. No, I need to become a carrier, not of coronavirus, but of a gun.
Sandwiches are beta. Go full carnivore, or go home. Speaking of carnivore,
I'm hungry.
yeah, I'm starving. Would you ever eat raw steak?
Would
raw
I
beef?
Would I eat it raw?
Yep,
You bet.
that's right. And you guys know about that carnivore diet? The idea is that you should be eating meat raw. Raw cheese,
No, I don't know
raw
if I really
eggs,
would.
raw steak.
I like seasoning. I like my stuff blackened. All right, like my girls.
He likes his girl black.
I like them blackened. You know, the edges, so
He
they're
likes
real crispy like.
Toasty.
Real crispy like.
Hans and Franz, you're here to pump you up.
I'm here to pump you up.
Come on, Melina!
If you want to come in the chat room, just shut your mouth.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Exactly. He does Christopher Walken pretty well.
So now, little man,
He does impressions
I
well.
give you the
too.
knife. Your mother, she gave me this knife. I forget.
His
That's kind of
watch.
showing off.
His
Watch. Go, hell yeah, but that gap in her teeth is
You sing the Gap Band.
it's sick because you eat in your gut. So eating this stuff over time builds that gut flora. Stay in your hot tub, guys. It's Corona time. That's right. Random question for Trevor.
Hit it.
Why do you want to know his maternal? It's like he wants to know your maternal mother's last name for 2 generations. Do you want also the last 4 of his social security and his birthday? Trevor Wesley could have married Candace Owens.
Could have married, well, I could have married Michael Jackson. Because there's a lot of possibilities out there. And if I did marry Michael Jackson, I would have a lot more money than I do now. But I didn't. Just like I didn't marry Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens, I like Candace Owens, but she's a little passionate.
She's too passionate.
A little,
She's too intense.
yeah, like
She's a little masculine.
Like I don't think that she'd be able to sit back in the car. You know, I think she'd always want to drive.
I think she'd make terrible
She'd always be
sandwiches.
like, "You didn't make a left here. You were supposed to make a left there," and I'll just be ran by her, stomped on.
Yeah, if you're gonna marry Candace Owens, we all know who's gonna wear the pants.
Yeah.
How about that Charlie Kirk though? I don't know. Charlie's he's a strange one, man. That guy's. He's gonna watch out for the big head.
Yeah.
AOC has a bad flat. That's Christopher Walken. Y'all just scared of a strong woman like Candace. No, there's no such thing as a strong one.
Only a weak man.
Exactly. Women want to think they're strong, they're not strong. Anger's not strength. And stubbornness is not strength. The good thing about a passionate person is that he's able to convince more than an unpassionate. Dispassionate is the correct word. Trump is definitely a passionate person. Nah, he's not passionate. I think Trump is actually the opposite of passionate. He's always level. You can't, throw him off his game. He's blunt and he's firm, but do you think Trump's passionate?
Not passionate. No, I think he's just.
I mean, passionate. I can't think of the definition, but I know it's like a near lack of control.
It's an attachment of. I don't know what the actual definition is, but
It's basically being out of control emotionally, so that's not really a good thing to be passionate.
yeah.
Strong woman, weak man. Exactly. That's all.
Man who can handle, because there's somebody like her weakness is what, and because I've dated girls where you wouldn't think so seeing her by herself, but once she starts hanging around me, she sits back and I become her weakness, and she lets me take the reins. You don't know how it's gonna be. I don't know. I've never been on a date with Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Would she be intimidated?
She looks nice.
I don't know.
She's nice.
It's not about intimidation. It's just about. It's about how do you? It's weird, man. It's the chemistry, man. It's the chemistry.
Maxine Waters' wig is still in quarantine. Well, you definitely need to be passionate to hold those crazy rallies. No, but they're not crazy. I mean, there's a big difference between passionate and being firm in your beliefs and speaking up. Passionate is Maxine Waters. Passionate is AOC. That's passionate.
Yeah, when that emotion is coming out, where I think consistency is key. When you can just stay yourself, because with passion, you're giving up a piece of yourself. You're losing yourself.
You go right up into your head.
Like if once you're passionate about something, you grab onto it, and you're losing a piece of yourself as opposed to being objective and sitting within yourself and just observing it and seeing it without being attached. At least that's how I see it.
Do you think Candace Owens makes sandwiches? I think that she doesn't make very good sandwiches.
She could make great sandwiches.
Yeah. No, she's too masculine.
I don't know.
She's got passion, so I think her sandwiches are gonna.
It's weird because I can't say Candace Owens is masculine because I get a lot of femininity from her. But I think that a woman should have some logic to her. I prefer a Candace Owens type more so than an AOC. She does have the passion behind her. Like I could tell that if she got mad, you'd be so games and she'd play dumb.
And what guy doesn't love head games?
Yeah.
She's mouthy. Yeah, she's very mouthy. She just yaps. Candace makes eggs. She makes ciabattas and paninis.
No, I make egg. Damn it.
In public. Yeah, I know she's married, but I don't know what the guy looks like or if he's. I mean, he must be a little weak in the spine.
Weak in the spine.
He white. Oh yeah, he is white. Good night, Lorianne.
I think I said we get up out of here, man, and we eat some food.
She wants to play her out. You know what? I got the perfect song to send you guys off to. Lorianne, I just want you to.
Fuck out of here. 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 Keep going. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.